Bihar is barely done or barely begun voting, but we're already talking about the states that are to come next. The Election Commission today launched its special intensive revision of voter rolls across 12 states, including the upcoming poll-bound states of Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, etc. In Bengal, the TMC took out a march against the exercise, accusing the centre of targeting opposition strongholds under the guise of voter verification. TMC MP Abhishek Banerjee claimed that 7 people have died because of SIR and because of what they call the fears of a backdoor entry of NRC. Meanwhile, the BJP has petitioned the Election Commission over alleged irregularities in West Bengal voter registrations. They're demanding more strict scrutiny of documents issued under the Mamata Banerjee administration. But the exercise will continue even amidst the din of politics. In fact, the Tamil Nadu ruling party, the DMK they're appealing to the Supreme Court. Tomorrow, there's going to be an all-party meeting in Kerala. So all of these opposition-ruled states are once again upping the ante as far as the SIR exercise is concerned. But are they barking up the wrong tree? Let's play out some reactions and then we'll go to our political guests as well.
3 মাসের মধ্যে তুমি বাড়ি বাড়ি গিয়ে 10 কোটি লোক তার ফর্ম ফিল আপ করে সব হবে? যে কাজটা 2.5 বছর 3 বছর লাগে, লোকের ধৈর্যের বাঁধ ভাঙবে না? মির্জাফর বাবু, আসাম কেন হলো না? হলে হারতেন, আসামের লোকে ভোট দিত না, ফলস ভোটে যেতেন। আমি চ্যালেঞ্জ নিয়ে বলে যাচ্ছি, ইলেকশন বাউন্ড 4টে রাজ্য, 3টে অপোজিশন রুল স্টেটে আপনি এসআইআর করলেন, কিন্তু আপনি নিজের ডাবল ইঞ্জিন সরকার, চোরদের সরকারেরটা করলেন না।
আগামী দিন তৃণমূল কংগ্রেস দিল্লি যাবে এবং এসআইআর এর প্রতিবাদে বাংলার ক্ষমতা কি সারা ভারতবর্ষকে দেখাবে। দিল্লি যাওয়ার জন্য প্রস্তুত থাকুন।
All right, they're threatening to hit the streets, Mamata Banerjee and Abhishek Banerjee. Let me go across to a straight face-off on this. Tuin Sinha is national spokesperson of the BJP. Tausif Rahman is spokesperson of the TMC. Tuin, even in Bihar, what the opposition is saying is that, look, almost 68, 69 lakh voters have been removed from the voter list. The Election Commission says a large number of them are dead or they have moved out of Bihar. But at the end of the day, the opposition's contention is a bulk of them are poor voters, they are scheduled caste, scheduled tribe voters, voters who may not have access to the documents. Ultimately, even the Election Commission had to go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said that, look, accept Aadhaar as one of the documents. Today, Mamata Banerjee and Abhishek Banerjee are saying we will not cooperate in this exercise. We will hit the streets, as they have in Kolkata today.
Good evening, Zaka. Good evening, everybody. From 2001, the population of Bengal has grown by 31%, but the total voters has grown by 67%. So, there are 36%, there is a 36% extra growth in the number of voters, which simply can't be explained, which simply can't be, legitimate voters. So SIR is a necessary today, not just in Bengal, but in several other parts of the country, which is why the Honorable Supreme Court validated it. Now, of course, there are checks and balances which the Supreme Court has put in place. A comprehensive list of documents for the SIR, which begins today, has already been provided. But Mamata Banerjee is a habitual anarchist. Whether it was the Waqf Amendment Act where she tried to stoke problem, whether it was CAA, or this is the 3rd time she is trying to stoke problems. She cannot live without violence, and therefore on your show today, let me give this assurance to the country that whether it is Mamata Banerjee, Abhishek Banerjee or the entire TMC, they will not be able to stop SIR. They will not be able to stoke violence this time. In fact, 100 illegal Bangladeshis have been caught in the border in the last 3 days because they were trying to escape to Bangladesh.
Tausif Rahman, SIR, this is not the first time that an SIR exercise is happening. 8 times since independence, SIR has happened. And including in the latest Bihar example, a bulk of those who've been removed from the electoral rolls are either dead, duplicate, or migrated voters. Why should there not be an exercise to clean up the electoral rolls every now and then?
Good evening, Zaka. Zaka, in the 7 days since the BJP affiliated body and the Election Commission of India announced the SIR, we have lost many citizens. Pradeep Kaur, Kshitish Majumdar, Kakuli Sarkar, Bishal Chantra, Hasina Begum, Sheikh Sirajuddin, Bashir Mal. So now will you send the Human Rights, Women Commission and all those government body which has been compromised with Modi government? See, from today's protest, let me be very clear, Zaka. From today's protest, TMC is very clear about the steps which will be taken in future. Now take it as a threat, dhamki or chunauti. And let me start with what Abhishek Banerjee said today from the protest on the holy land of Thakurbari. I, Abhishek Banerjee, promise that those who have insulted Bengal and deprived us from Manrega, Jal Jeevan Mission, PM Awas, Gram Sadak Yojana, Sarva Shiksha Mission, and acting unilaterally treating us like a remote controlled toy, we will answer them in 2026 assembly election. You are absolutely right that this is not the first time SIR is happening, but such kind of SIR is becoming like a threat. आप धमकी दे रहे हैं लोगों को. What is your intention and what is the intention of timing? Those who ask us to produce papers should first show their fathers and grandfathers' papers, Zaka, and then ask for ours. This land is as much mine as yours.
No, but tell me, Mr. Tausif, in the Bihar instance, all political parties went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, no less, said that it's a constitutional procedure, and even the Supreme Court cannot ask the Election Commission not to undertake an SIR. You can have, issues or differences, opposition to the manner in which the SIR is taking place. But to say that we will not show our papers and we should not have an SIR exercise, that just, begets logic.
Okay, then why don't you start the SIR with Assam, Nagaland, Meghalaya, Tripura? If you are so much concerned with the Bangladeshis, Rohingyas, as you claim that there are 1 crore of Rohingyas staying in Bengal, then why don't you start with Assam, Tripura, Nagaland? Because there are the same states which is sharing borders with Bangladesh. Even West Bengal doesn't share a border with Myanmar. So what is the intention behind it? So you see, this whole thing is a facade. It's nothing but a gimmick. So we respect the Supreme Court. We cannot go beyond the Supreme Court, of course. But you take it as a threat. If one legitimate vote or a person name has been cut from the electoral list, you will see 1 lakh people standing in Delhi outside the Election Commission. And that's a challenge.
He's saying it's a threat. If one voter is removed, then 1 lakh people will stay outside the ECI.
This is the language of Hussain Sohrawardy and Maulana Bhashani. This is not a based on Bhasha now.
One at a time.
Have the basic courtesy.
One at a time, yeah.
If you can't speak the language of an Indian Democrat, I will have to point out that this language does not behove any responsible democratic party. 1 lakh people sending them to Bengal as if there is a huge difference between Bengal and India. This is the mentality of these people. Zaka, did you see what are the excuses they are making? Why now? Why not Tripura first? Look at the threat they are giving. If one right person is taken out from the roll, they are okay with 36% illegal voters being there. But their only concern is stoking up this hysteria, stoking up this drama that we are weeding out genuine voters. Can you explain how is the rise in total voters, 36% more than the total increase in population in the last 24 years?
No, but Tuhin, what about the question he asked? Why not in Assam? Why not in Nagaland, in Meghalaya? They all share a border with Bangladesh.
That is the prerogative of the Election Commission. Let them take it up again with the Supreme Court and let Supreme Court tell them, please don't do the task of the Election Commission. The Election Commission has the full prerogative. They chose 12 states. They did not only pick up Bengal. If 10 other states don't have a problem, Tamil Nadu and Bengal cannot have a specific problem with timing.
Okay.
Please understand, just 1 second. Mamata Banerjee in 2006, when she was a minister in UPA, had been equally vocal against illegal migrants. Today, she is defending the same. She has blood in her hands because the killings which took place in Murshidabad could have been provided had she not stoked up hysteria around the Work Permit Act.
At the end of the day, this is an exercise to clean up the electoral rolls. It's an exercise to improve transparency, trust in the electoral process. Whether it is through house-to-house verification, involvement of BLOs, the booth-level officers, whether it is claims and counterclaims, objection mechanisms. In the Bihar instance, the Supreme Court itself asked, why is not even one political party helping any voter who has been deleted in this 68 or 69 lakh, who is a genuine voter whose name has been deleted? Why has that not been raised with the Election Commission? And none of them had any answers.
So Zaka, I have a simple question once again. So if Mr. Tuhin thinks that there is a percentage of Bangladesh and Rohingya staying in Bengal, so will he give us the assurance that there is not even 1% of Bangladeshis staying in Assam? Now, will you throw this ball outside the court of ECI that ab to ye ECI samjhega? So कल ECI बोलेगा मैं लहंगा पहन के नाचू वोटर ID हाथ में लेके, so we will dance with the lehenga? No, we will not do. The question is, what exactly is the ECI intention? If the stated purpose of the SIR is to stop illegal infiltration, then the process must begin at the border. That is where it should be checked. If a Rohingya were to reach Bengal, they would have to pass through one of these four border states first. Then why have these states have been exempted from SIR? Bangladesh and Myanmar together share border with 8 Indian states. Yet the SIR has been conducted only in Bengal. Why this selective targeting? अरे आप जो बोलोगे और हम बंदर की तरह नाचेंगे, ऐसा तो नहीं होगा जाका.
No, but in the case of Assam,
Zaka.
no, one second. In the case of Assam, the Chief Election Commissioner was asked this question and he said there's already an NRC exercise there. We don't want to duplicate it.
It is totally flop.
That's what he said.
That NRC exercise is totally flop. How many Hindus have been barred from there? The Hindus are suffering in Assam more than Muslims. So I don't understand, if they are not prepared to do anything, why are they doing?
Okay.
बस आपको इशारों में नाचना है,
So,
अमित शाह और मोदी.
Tuhin, even in Bihar, the question was asked to the Election Commission, how many illegals, how many foreigners did you remove? They haven't given a figure.
Well, in all, 68 lakh illegal voters have been removed. Now it is for the local agencies, the local police, to figure out how many of them are illegal voters. That's a process which is underway. But what is this logic? Why Bengal first? Does Uttar Pradesh share a border with Bangladesh? Does Uttar Pradesh share a border with Myanmar? Does Kerala share a border with these? I mean, they are running out of logic. They are just bringing up some farcical excuse or the other, and then they will threaten that 1 lakh people will come to Delhi. Wait, I mean, we'll embrace them with open arms. Let's see how many people you're able to bring to Delhi.
Why are you
No,
scared?
but Mr. Tausif,
No, I am
this
throwing
is
that
also a
challenge to
question
them.
to be asked. I mean, you're a democratic party. You can make SIR into the biggest issue in the Bengal election, but this kind of a threat saying, even if one voter is deleted, we'll bring 1 lakh people and agitate outside the Election Commission. I mean, political parties don't make threats in a democracy. Come on.
I, Zaka, on a national television where I am talking with Zaka on CNN News 18, I say once again, my National General Secretary and the Daiban Harbour MP Abhishek Banerjee is absolutely clear, and we support that. We will go Delhi if it's necessary. I mean, you see, and again, I'm going to tell you one thing. If the SSIR is truly necessary, why was it
It's
not
an open
conducted
challenge,
after
Zaka. I
2023
challenge
Panchayat
them.
election?
10,000 people will not come
Arey,
with them.
why it was not conducted after
10,000
2002
people will not come with them. They have already been rejected by the people
Okay.
before the elections.
I'll leave it at that. Like I've said previously on other shows as well, ultimately, I think the ball on this one, on the SIR exercise, will have to reach the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will have to give explicit directions to state governments that they have to cooperate with the Election Commission of India. Otherwise, I don't foresee how, particularly in some of these opposition rule states, how the ECI can undertake this exercise. The court, in a previous instance, while hearing the Bihar matter, has said that this is a constitutional mechanism. Not even the court can stop the Election Commission from carrying it out. But let's see how this plays out legally and, of course, on the streets, as has been threatened by Mamata Banerjee and by Abhishek Banerjee.